My name is Kaylin Jaworski. My project is Does the color of a house affect the cooling energy required? This experiment shows how different colors both absorb and reflect heat. My hypothesis is if I paint a house a lighter color, then I expect it to stay cooler, as if I paint a house a darker color, it will be hotter and absorb heat. This was tested by taking 5 different boxes and painting them each in a variety of dark and light colors. Then the boxes were put under a radiant heat lamp. The internal temperature was recorded every 10 minutes for 40 minutes until all the data was collected. Typically, the darker the color, the more heat is absorbed, whereas lighter color, the more heat is reflected. In this line graph shown, all colors started from the mid-low 70s, and once they hit the heat source, they went up to an average of 95 degrees. Another observation is where the thermometer was placed and how it affected the temperature. For example, when the thermometer was placed near the roof of the box, it was hotter, but when the thermometer was near the middle, it read lower. Shown in the data table, the color black has the highest overall temperature in every single time frame. The experiment needed to be done more than once to get the most accurate temperature for each box. White, as expected, stayed around the same temperature when the heat lamp was turned on. For the most accurate readings, a digital thermometer was used to track the temperature. As expected, black had the highest temperature. Then, all the other colors stayed much lower. Something that was unexpected was that the white box house had the second hottest overall temperature. Referring back to the hypothesis made earlier, it states somewhere along the lines of a lighter color will stay cooler as a darker color will absorb more heat and be hotter. This hypothesis was supported. This is because the darker colors did stay hotter and the lighter colors stayed cooler or slowly rising. Some factors that could have resulted in major variable changes are using different paint, type of heat lamp, or even the temperature change in where the experiment was held. This experiment showed that the color of a building has an effect on the heat absorption and reflection as well as cooling. The darker colors stayed hotter while lighter colors stayed cooler. In conclusion, darker colors are best suited for cooler climates, whereas lighter colors are best for warmer climates. Some sources of error could have been timing, location of thermometer, placement of heat lamp, the outside temperature change, and the thickness of the paint on the box. Future questions would be, by adding a non-painted box, will it give a better baseline for the temperature readings? And how long it would take for the boxes to return to its original temperature after taking away the heat source. The Bible verse chosen is Proverbs 24:27, prepare your work outside. Get everything ready for yourself in the field, and after that, build your house. This references the steps of this project. First, the preparations of the project, then the research gathering part, and after all of that is done, you can finally build the house and do experiments. This verse does relate to the project because it tells all the work you must put in before the finished project. During this experiment, information was sourced and gathered, which led to the actual experiment, where the house and heat testing was done. The student learning expectations appreciates God's gifts in others and treats them with respect and dignity. This SLE relates to the project because it respected God's gifts during the experiment and the whole process. The materials that were used were only created because of God, and this is why they need to be respected. Also to respect the ones who made the materials. When doing this project, all materials are handled with respect so it will not mess up the experiment. Any difference or change when doing the process can result in inaccurate data. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my project.